Good morning, everyone. I'm John Burlingham, Chairman of the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, and I'd like to welcome you to our monthly virtual breakfast meeting featuring Ulster County's world-class outdoor recreational opportunities. Please join me in the pledge to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning again, and thank you for joining us today. It's hard to believe, but the graduation celebration for the Chamber Foundation's 2021 leadership class is right around the corner. It will be held live and in person this year at Diamond Mills in Saugerties on Monday, June 14th, starting at 5:30 p.m. This year, we will congratulate 18 outstanding graduates in the class of 2021. For more information on this great event, go to the Chamber Foundation website, where you'll also find information on the next Leadership Ulster class, which will start in September. Or contact our Foundation Executive Director, Ingrid Kulik, at the Chamber office. The Chamber of Commerce and several of our partners will be hosting a first-of-its-kind virtual job fair tomorrow at 3 p.m. live on Facebook. It's been well documented that many local businesses are looking for employees, so we're giving all our chamber members in the restaurant, tourism, and hospitality industries an opportunity to get the word out about their job openings. If your business would like to participate, just send an email to val@ulsterchamber.org. Once you register, we'll send you a Zoom invitation to take part. Thanks to our partners in our virtual job fair, Lisa Berger, Ulster County Tourism, Thomas and Oliphant, Ulster County OET, John Kanan, Jerry, SBDC Small Business Recovery and Resilience Team, Dennis Morgan, Samadhi Catskills Addiction Coalition. Again, that's tomorrow starting at 3 p.m. After a very successful in-person business card exchange at the venue Uptown last week, the Chamber will be hosting another business card exchange on Tuesday, June 22nd, starting at 9 a.m., again at the venue Uptown. The no-cost networking event gives Chamber members the opportunity to connect with other Chamber members and to promote their businesses. All Chamber members will have 2 to 3 minutes to talk about their business and hand out business cards. Don't keep your business a secret. Referrals from other people are one of the most powerful ways to build your business. Space is limited and reservations are required. Thanks to our sponsor, Hudson Valley Credit Union. June's virtual breakfast meeting will feature guest speaker, SUNY Ulster President, Dr. Alan Roberts. Dr. Roberts will bring Chamber members up to date on the college's efforts to train our future workforce in this new economy. Dr. Roberts will also discuss how SUNY Ulster is coming out of the pandemic, including the planned return of students to campus this fall and their future challenges and opportunities. Mark down the date and be sure to join us virtually on Facebook and YouTube on Tuesday, June 29th, starting at 9 a.m. Thanks to our virtual breakfast sponsor, Kinlam Energy Services. And thanks also to Radio Kingston for their technical support. Finally, it's time for you to nominate your favorite local business leader, or organization for the 2021 Ulster County Business Awards celebration. The nomination form is up on our website, so take a few minutes and fill out our nomination today. The categories are Business Person of the Year, Business of the Year, Small Business of the Year, Tourism or Hospitality Business of the Year, Emerging Young Professional, Best Not-for-Profit Agency, which is our commitment to the Community Award, and Best Multi-Generational Business, which is our Heritage Award. We'll also announce the recipient of the Len Kane Heart of Ulster County. The celebration will take place October 21st at Diamond Mills, but your nominations should be submitted as soon as possible. For all these chamber events, you can find more information at ulsterchamber.org. And if you're not currently a member of the chamber, let me personally invite you to join our chamber family. Contact our Director of Membership, Jess Davis, at the Chamber office, 845-338-5100, or fill out a membership application online. Now with the rest of our program this morning, here's Ward Todd.
John, thank you so very much. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our virtual chamber breakfast meeting. We thank you so much for being with us today. A special thank you, first of all, to our guest speakers this morning from the Walkway Over the Hudson, Mohonk Preserve, and Ulster County Tourism, talking about our great Ulster County trails. Also want to thank our sponsor for the morning. It's Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union. We'll be hearing from their president and CEO momentarily. But again, good morning, and thanks so much to John Burlingham for his leadership as our chamber board chair. He mentioned last week's in-person virtual, not virtual. That's part of my vocabulary I got to take out. Last week's in-person business card exchange, and it really was a wonderful event. Our first live event in 15 months. I think we all went in with a bit of trepidation, but it was definitely not warranted. It turned out to be much better than we ever could have imagined. In fact, I wish there was some way we could bottle all of the energy and enthusiasm that was in that room yesterday. I think it's clear we've all been stuck in our homes or our offices for far too long, cut off from human interaction. And it's just great to see people without masks in person. Thanks again for all your participation. Mark down the date for the next business card exchange, June 22nd at the venue uptown. Did want to make another note about the guidelines from the state and the CDC, which were put in effect since we had our last virtual breakfast meeting. These now allow the stores in our region to admit shoppers without masks. We've noticed, however, there are a number of our small local businesses that are still asking that you wear a mask. And so we'd like you to understand the challenges and the pressures on our small businesses. So if you see that sign at the entrance, please comply. Very often these businesses have employees who have health issues, which would put their safety in jeopardy if they were exposed. So look, we've made it this far. Please continue to think of others when you're out in public and follow each individual store's recommendations. Thank you for that. Meanwhile, your Chamber of Commerce continues to grow and expand, and we're so delighted to see all the new members joining us from throughout Ulster County and the region today. And we'd like to officially welcome our newest members right now. And with that honor, here is our membership director, Jess Davis. Jess, good morning.
Good morning. And good morning, Ulster County and beyond. Another beautiful day in the Hudson Valley. And I couldn't be more excited to announce these new members to you this morning. So we'll just start off, and you're going to see a lot happening as you're driving through the different villages and cities and towns. There's a lot of construction and renovations and grand openings happening. So you can expect to see us at those with ribbon cuttings. We'll get started with 99.1 BJJ Kingston, which is a martial arts business, and there's a grand opening coming soon. So stay tuned for that announcement. It's out near trying to think of the closest place, right in front of the Home Depot Plaza in that little establishment. So stay tuned. They have a lot of fun things planned, including summer camp offerings. We have a young entrepreneur, Jesse Hicks, at Adayaway Kayak Rentals down on Abeal Street, and he's expanded. He actually now has 100 kayaks available for rent, does group activities, and has even more planned with food trucks coming soon. American Thunder is another new business on East Chester Street, and it's the Dunn family motorcycle repairs and retail shop with parts and accessories. And another new business, Corcoran Country Living on Wall Street in Kingston. For your real estate needs, you can reach out to Michelle at the office there. Dedrick's Pharmacy, a longtime family name, the Nikos family, Jared Nikos and family joined, and I was there about 2 weeks ago. They have a beautiful gift shop in addition to their pharmacy. And so I encourage you to take a ride out and meet the Nikos family at Dedrick's Pharmacy and gift shop. I was there for a grand opening this past weekend. I dragged Ward along. Hudson Valley Sports Card, owned by Anna Moresi on Route 28. A lot of fun in there. Take me out to the ball game. This sure is the season. Hurley Excavating and Landscaping, the Zell family. Proud to welcome Hurley Excavating and Landscaping. There's a lot of digging going on around here. So we're happy to be able to recommend Hurley Excavating to our community. A longtime friend, Joshua's Cafe in Woodstock, Steph. We welcome Steph, and I'll be there in the coming weeks for a Just Delicious video. Can't wait for that. You may have met him on one of our business card exchange, Logan Millington with LM Electric and Consulting Corp. And Logan mentioned no job is too small or too big. They're happy to help and service our community with your electrical needs. I was here the other day with Effie Trateris from the Trateris Law Firm, Millstream Tavern on the Woodstock Golf Club property. A beautiful establishment with an incredible chef there, Ryan Tate, and lots of fun. The food was fantastic. So we welcome Millstream Tavern. It's open to the public. So get out there and try it on a beautiful day, on a rainy day. The grounds are gorgeous. You may have seen we did actually go virtual with our business card exchange, but it was in person, but we still brought it to you because we learned through the pandemic that we can reach our greater community by going live and doing virtual streaming. So Tim Barconi has joined us, and Tim is with New Leaf NY Home Inspection, the Barconi family, no stranger to the locals. We did meet Perry Goldshine for the first time with New York Life, and he's a financial services agent. I know you're all waiting for the grand opening for the next one. It's Personal Pizza Company. It's in the town of Ulster. It's the Slice of Italy family, and it's drive-through pizza. Stay tuned. I did get note that they are going to be opening very soon, so we welcome you, Personal Pizza Company and the DePaula family. The Rear Center for Immigrant Culture and History, a non-for-profit organization. Sarah Litvin reached out and they have joined, and we're going to be doing a lot to share with the community what's happening at the Rear Center. And then again, another great organization, Samadhi, Dennis Morgan, who will be a part of our presentation tomorrow, our live job fair, health and wellness, and doing great things in our community. So we're proud to welcome. Another human services organization, Step One Child and Family Guidance Center Addiction Services, and the executive director there, Christopher Dennehy, but we're also working with Bailey Carr. We have a big celebration we're planning with them. This is a long list. You can imagine, you guys know I'm busy. I just have a few more. We warmly welcome Stone Dock Golf Course, and Jennifer O'Donnell is the person to contact there. Golf, event venues, the restaurant, and a women's league. So get involved and check out Stone Dock. Another fun person, a dentist who has an incredible personality, Studio Blue Dental, Chuan Wang, located in Highland. And if you're driving through, you can't help but notice beautiful new building going up, and that's where you'll find Studio Blue Dental. We were at this next location just about a week ago, the premier short-term rehabilitation unit and Northeast Center. So we were there for a ribbon cutting and a celebration. They've expanded the facility. It is absolutely beautiful. I sort of wanted to check in for a night. It's that beautiful. And it's to help those that have the traumatic brain injury. There's also a men's unit, a behavioral unit. So really exciting expansion for the Northeast Center. Last but not least, I'll be there this coming Thursday. I just found out about it, Yari's Boutique. And it's a retail store for children in the town of Ulster. So I'm really excited for that. And thank you for keeping me busy. It's really the community, the recommendations, the referrals from all of you, the word of mouth that you heard about us, a place from the chamber. You can reach out to me at any time. My email is jess@ulsterchamber.org. The office is 338-5100. But you all know how to find me on Facebook. So feel free to inbox me there as well. And welcome to all. Just like John said earlier, this chamber is truly a family. So we're here to help you grow, help you network, help you meet others, and also help to meet your needs. Thank you. It's an honor to be the director of membership here.
Great, Jess. Thanks so much. I think we are all local leaders, elected officials, and others looking for signs that our economy is bouncing back from the pandemic. I think no greater sign than the vast array of new members from the complete spectrum. So that's since our last breakfast meeting, that list that Jess just went through. Today's virtual breakfast meeting is sponsored by our good friends at the Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union, MHVFCU. They are a Chamber of Commerce corporate sponsor, in fact, a corporate leader, as well as our sponsor this morning. At this time, we'd like to say good morning and welcome to their president and CEO, Wayne Winkler. Good morning, Wayne.
Morning, Ward. Thank you so much. We're very happy in being this month's corporate sponsor. Before I provide some insight on how our credit union has navigated through the pandemic, I would like to acknowledge Ward and his staff for the great job they do at the Chamber, promoting and supporting local businesses. As we all know, small businesses have suffered the most from the pandemic, and they need all the support they can get, as they are truly the backbone of our local economy. Over the past 15 months, our credit union has exemplified the credit union philosophy of people helping people and giving back to the communities we serve. Operating as an essential business over the past 15 months has been challenging. As most of you know, as a financial services provider, we had our doors open. Our lobbies were open every day, and we continued to service our members. We basically had to reinvent ourselves during that time. Our back offices converted to basically virtual operations, while we did keep our lobbies open. And the thing I'm most proud of is that we never compromised the safety and welfare of our employees. And the level of service provided to our members has been exemplary. And I have to thank our entire staff, as they had really stepped up during the past 15 months. In addition, we have provided much needed financial assistance to so many of our small business owners and members who have been dealing with the pandemic. We have processed close to $20 million in PPP loans for our small business owners. And we have provided thousands, that's right, thousands of loan deferments to our members who have been struggling to make their loan payments. In addition, we have witnessed many shifts in social behavior within our industry. Most of our members have embraced digital delivery channels like never before. We have also experienced a radical shift in working remotely, something, believe it or not, we're very good at now. And the last thing I thought was very interesting is people are not spending money with all the assistance they have received from the government. They are saving more, and believe it or not, they're paying down their debt. We need to change that soon. On another note, I'd like to talk about our commitment to social responsibility and financial education. It's never been stronger. And I'd like to thank Mike Matone, Melissa Walsh, and her staff for all their efforts in this area. And finally, the pandemic has not stopped our branch infrastructure expansion plans. With our recent approval to expand our community charter to now serve the counties of Westchester, Rockland, Putnam, and Sullivan, we are anxiously awaiting the completion of our 14th full-service branch in the city of Peekskill. The anticipated opening is October, so stay tuned. In closing, I know today's theme is hibernation, taking advantage of the great outdoors. More importantly, I think we need to have everyone start living their lives, spending money, and more importantly, buying local. So at this time, I will turn it back over to Ward to get on with the rest of the program. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Wayne. Thank you so much for your continued support of the Chamber of Commerce. Keep up the great work you're doing at MHVFCU, a long time friend of the Chamber of Commerce. And now on to our program. Ulster County offers world-class outdoor recreational opportunities. Our special co-host this morning are going to take you on a virtual tour of some of the most scenic and unique outdoor treasures anywhere in this country, places that attract travel visitors from all over the globe, and they're right here in our backyard. We're going to begin by introducing the executive director of the Walkway Over the Hudson, the world's longest elevated pedestrian bridge. Good morning, Elizabeth Waldstein. How are you?
I'm great. Good morning, Chamber members. Happy to be here and enjoying another beautiful day in the Hudson Valley.
Tell us about the Walkway.
Well, I'm going to show you a fun clip first, and then I'll jump into it. I just kind of want to wake us up. This is a short version of a 4-minute promo that we use, that we do show in New York City and around. So if Cale's ready and he can start the video, then we'll take a quick look. Well, yeah, I hope that's not suffering from digital problems. But I just want to start by saying good morning again. Who could imagine that the bridge that was called the Great Connector in 1889, that connected the Northeast to the Midwest, would be resurrected 130 years later by a group of dedicated business people from both Ulster and Dutchess County and the surrounding area, and transformed about 15 years later to the Walkway Over the Hudson. After opening in 2009, we all sort of waited with bated breath to see what was this going to be. So once the walkway opened, a Friends organization was formed, the one that I'm proud to be executive director of, a nonprofit organization that supports the state park. And we are completely volunteer driven. We have a small staff and a volunteer board of directors and a volunteer staff. Our mission, as you can see there, is really threefold: to bring people to the Hudson Valley, to share with them the beauty of our cultural and our historical sites, and then to contribute to the economic vitality of the area. How we do that, as I just said, is through a staff of board and directors. Cale, can you go? Thank you. And this is who we are. You're going to recognize a lot of people, Mo Keegan and Dorcas Rohr and Danny House and Bob Kaminsky, a lot of Ulster people that you know, Jamie Anson on staff. So we have always tried to be the great connector between Ulster and Dutchess, representing the entire region of the Mid-Hudson Valley. And I think we've done that. What have we done since it opened? A lot of you have been on the bridge, I'm sure. And in 2009, we opened. I like to say the asphalt was barely dry. We had clivises, which is a nice way of saying porta-johns on both sides of the walkway, and a lot of gravel. Since then, with our efforts, the state, some federal funding, and many of you who've been sponsors and donors, we've been able to construct welcome centers on both sides of the walkway. So when people come to this world-class destination, they're met by something that represents that. And of course, the elevator was a big project. The main purpose of the elevator was to allow people to commute directly from the train station without having to drive. It was to allow people with accessibility issues to be able to get up on the walkway, and also for people to come down and enjoy the Hudson River waterfront, which, as you all know, there aren't that many places. So once Central Hudson finishes that remediation, now we have Highland Landing. My dream is a ferry going back and forth someday, and I'm sure somebody, maybe not me, but someone with a big vision will do that. The other thing we do is we create unique events. We are a 501c3, and we raise all of our money from the public. We don't get any state funding at all. We raise it all from you, and like I said, our generous donors and supporters, and also through fun events. Our events not only raise money, but they bring people to this area for an event the average stay on the walkway is only about 2 hours. So it's really part of our mission to send them out into your businesses and to your other historic and tourist sites so that they can really experience it. And that is expanding, and we'll keep you posted. We're so happy to be back live with some of our events. You all know the challenge of 2020. I'm very proud of our state park partners, and also due to Governor Cuomo's insistence that our state parks stay open, and it was open every day. And people by and large followed the masking requirements, and were grateful actually to be out on the walkway. For us as an organization, and you, just like you as businesses, our revenue was drastically reduced. Thank goodness we got the PPP, which allowed us to keep our staff, keep people employed. Our staff live within a 30-mile radius. They raise their families. They shop. They live, work, and play here. So it was really important for us. In March, like the rest of you, the world sort of came to an end. But like I said, the walkway stayed open. We regrouped and really thought, what could we do? So in April, we did one of the most favorite projects I've done in 11 years. And that was, we lit 1,300 luminary bags and spelled out thank you on the walkway at night, and said thank you to all the frontline workers. If after this is all over and you've watched all of us, you could go to walkway.org or YouTube and watch a 4-minute video of that project. It was all volunteer, all people came together, as always, the great connector, to say thank you to the frontline workers in the Hudson Valley that got us through the pandemic. Then in August, we were happy to help host the unveiling of the Sojourner Truth statue on the west side, over in near the Highland side of the walkway. If you haven't seen it yet, please visit it. What an opportunity to educate some 100,000 people that come through that don't know who Sojourner Truth is, haven't thought about the contribution that African American played in the development of the Hudson Valley. A great opportunity, and we'll be hosting another talkway through our website, and we'll have Vinnie Bagwell and other people come and talk again. So please take time to do that. Then in October, with the fearless leadership of Jamie Anson, we were able to have a Walktoberfest. Thank you to the Ulster County Board of Health that was there every step of the way. It was a COVID restricted farmers and makers market that turned out to be very successful. You see in the picture, our county executive was there, some of our board members. It was in partnership with the Hudson Valley Rail Trail. So the two nonprofits came together to host thousands of people so that we could showcase the fantastic products that we make and we sell and here in the Hudson Valley. So a little bit about the walkway. A lot of you already know this, but we're averaging 500,000 people a year. It's a lot of folks. You can see there the statistics vary, but I think what's really important is that a large percentage, about 25% of the people over time, are from way out of the area, international visitors, that both Ulster County Tourism, thank you, Lisa, and Dutchess County Tourism, thank you, Melaine, work hard to go out and bring people here. So we're very proud of that. Another 25% are people from, a number of states in the United States. And then about 50% is local. We were surprised, though, to find out that local is a 30 to 40-minute drive. So lots of tourists, lots of locals. Our goal over the next 10 years is to, keep that number up and support the park to keep it the best park that it can be. Why is the walkway an important asset to us? When we did our study with Pattern for Progress, we found that, people really like the walkway being here. They're proud of it. They bring their we all bring our friends and family. I do too, just like the rest of you. And we were very pleased that the businesses around the walkway, when they were surveyed, did attribute an increase in their business to walkway guests. And I think as the economy rebounds, as the tourism economy is continued to be supported by both private and government sources, we'll see the kind of restaurants and shops and bike shops and Taste New York, and the sort of things will continue to grow. So that's what we're really looking forward to. That drives our economy. You can be a part of helping to drive the economy. There are vendors on the walkway that the state, that we don't manage that, the state manages that. We do large events where people are able to showcase products. And we're always looking for sponsors, as I mentioned. So that's a way to get your name out in front of the public. Ulster County, Lisa's going to talk about this, so I don't need to, but this great trail connection, which is the Empire State Trail. You know, this is quite a asset that we all have. And our studies show in tourism that recreational tourism is continuing to grow. Historic tourism has leveled off a bit, but it hasn't gone away. There's, you know, history keeps being created every day, every year. There's new history, and there's always a new generation of people looking to the past. So our historic tourism is fairly level, and that's good. But recreational tourism is really taking off. We did quite a big project a few years ago that we will keep working on. And if you just go back, KL1, you'll see in the hamlet of Highland Hamlet, you see Ward there and former Supervisor Hansett and some other folks that were celebrating one of the discovery zones. So one of the things I just wanted you to put this lens on for a bit, and it was very interesting for me, when we hired consultants and they came into the region, they looked all over and they discovered Illinois Mountain and the Highland Hamlet, and of course Highland Landing, and some gems in Poughkeepsie. So looking through the eyes of outsiders, we almost saw this beautiful region that we already knew about, but all of these things that are interesting to other people. So I would love to tell you more about the Greater Walkway Experience. We'll be revving that up again in the next year so that we make sure that we're sending our tourists via our brochures, which we distribute $100,000, I wish, 100,000 copies a year with our partnership with Chronogram and Luminary Media. So another partnership that works hand in hand. We send people purposely to the Greater Walkway Experience to walk our trails and to see our businesses. We do welcome tourists, as I said. Our volunteers, I will say that the Walkway Ambassadors are some of the best volunteers in the state. We have 150 of them. They work hard. They man our pavilions every single weekend and every holiday, which, as you can imagine, takes many, many hours. And they contribute so many hours. And they are, it's just a great volunteer group. If you have extra time, which a lot of you don't, but if you have friends and family members looking for a community, a connector with other people, consider becoming a Walkway volunteer. So quick look at what's next in 2021. There's the great thank you. Thank you to Scott Snell and his drone company, and 3 of our board members that really made this all happen. So we're already underway with some reopening. Just like you, it's kind of changing every day. But we're basically an outdoor venue, so masks are now optional, and hopefully, not necessary by the end of the week. Who knows? We'll see. So on the next slide, you can see a little bit of what we're up to. And these are some of our goals for the future. One is accessibility for all, greater accessibility. We were surprised by the pattern study that there was a lot of people afraid to come on the walkway, not because they had a physical disability necessarily, but an injury or, a condition of their lungs or their heart. So we worked hard and funded the tram that's now going to be available to go back and forth. So folks that weren't able to enjoy it can come out and have the experience. And then we are now going to spend more time and effort on bringing the bounty of the Hudson Valley to the walkway, to our visitors. Thank you for everybody. Thank you for the Chamber for doing our ribbon cutting on May 8th at Mayfest. We had, I think, 120 vendors, again, in partnership with the Hudson Valley Rail Trail, help from Ulster County. Dorcas Rohr was there, and one of our board members from 1857 Vodka. And it was a great event. We were able to secure some funding from our new Senator, Michelle Hinchy. so that we can improve our capacity to host farmers and makers markets on the walkway, sort of making that connection stronger. So we'll do some facility upgrade, and of course we have to have some staffing to do that. So we were just very grateful to have that experience, and we welcomed literally thousands of people to that. Another project coming up is the lighting of the walkway. As many of you might know, the lights that lit the deck at night were turned on in 2010 and functioned quite well for a number of years. And then technology and the elements caught up with it. They were removed, and we will be showcasing our new solar solution this week with a group of stakeholders, and then going out to bid and looking to light the walkway with solar lighting, and then supplement it with some colored LED lighting in the future. So something really to look forward to. You can see that we've kept the lights low so that our astronomers can still help us gaze at the stars. So you can walk at night in a peaceful setting. So please join us on Walkway at Nights. We have a number of them coming up, about one a month. For members, it's free. Of course, members are sort of the lifeblood of our revenue, and everyone is welcome. Dogs have to have a light up collar, but pets are welcome too. So I think that's all I want to share in terms of what we're doing. Still finishing the capital improvements, getting closer, expanding our programming for diversity, inclusion, and history, and making sure that we continue to host events that are unique and exciting to bring people to our area and then send them out to you, to your businesses, to your nonprofits, to your historic sites. And we'd love you to be connected with the walkway. We have our first ever golf tournament happening on July 19th at Apple Greens Golf Course. Thanks again to the Apple Greens family for hosting us. So, and Jamie Anson will be helping put that together. I heard a rumor that Dorcas might have some vodka sampling on one of the holes. So you'll be able to taste some of the Hudson Valley's finest. There'll be food and other drinks as well. So that's July 19th. Go to walkway.org and sign up or contact me. Starry Night will be back this year. Last year was all virtual. We will be down at Upper Landing Park this year in a really new and fun format that will, just be different. We all learned a lot, didn't we? So I guess we don't all need to gather at the same time under one big tent, but we're going to have a lot of fun on October 1st, followed by Walktoberfest, another farmers and makers markets in October. So these are things that you can participate with us. We need your help. We appreciate your support. We are just thrilled with what the walkway has been able to offer to the community. And I thank the Ulster Chamber for inviting us, for all you do to support the walkway, and each of you by working hard in your own business. And I really understand last year, it was a tough year for us all, but now we got to get our hires back and get our staffs up to speed and really take advantage of what's going to be a glorious next decade.
Great. Elizabeth, thank you so much. As you said, the walkway really does make life better for all of us. That's just beautiful. And from the walkway in Highland, we head up to the Gardner-New Paltz area to learn more about the amazing Mohonk Preserve. We're delighted to have with us this morning their president and CEO, Kevin Case. Good morning, Kevin. It's great to see you.
Morning, Ward. Thanks for having me.
Tell us about Mohonk Preserve.
Yeah, I've got a little presentation to share with you, and I'm excited to share with everyone what a special and unique place the preserve is for so many here in Ulster County and beyond. I want to take a few minutes to talk about the many ways people access and enjoy the preserve. I want to talk about how we care for its ecological well-being and what we're doing to advance our role as a partner with our local communities and businesses. But before I go further, I do want to take a moment to recognize and acknowledge the history of the land. Mohonk Preserve, as many may know, is located on the ancestral land of the Lenape people within Lenape-Hoking, which is the Lenape homeland. from which they were forcibly displaced. We respectfully acknowledge the Lenape people, past, present, and future, and we recognize their continued presence within the homeland and throughout the Lenape diaspora and honor their ongoing and fundamental relationship with this land. And with that acknowledgement, I do want to sort of give a little bit of background about where the preserve comes from. Founded in 1963 by the Smiley family, largely. Since that time, we've grown to now own and manage over 8,000 mostly contiguous acres across and along the Shawangunk Mountains. We have nearly 70 full-time and seasonal staff as New York's largest nonprofit nature preserve with nearly 20,000 members and over 300,000 visitors a year. I just wanted to go back for a sec, Kel. Thanks. Before we leave the slide, I just wanted to point out this picture of our newest trailhead in New Paltz, the Testimonial Gateway Trailhead, which opened last year, our first new trailhead in 27 years. Renovations included a new roof and windows and have just been completed. And the tower takes you along the iconic Pin Oak LA and into the foothills of the Shawangunk Mountains. Now we can go next. Thanks. So our mission is simple, really to protect the ecological integrity of the Shawangunk Mountains and empower people to explore, enjoy, and care for the natural world. We want to help people get outdoors. We want to find ways for the outdoors to help support healthy and vibrant communities in Ulster County. Next, Kel. So how do you find us? The preserve is located in the 5 towns of New Paltz, Gardner, Marbletown, Rochester, and Rosendale. The dark green on this map represents the Mohonk Preserve lands. The lighter green is Minnewaska, mostly Minnewaska State Park, which we abut, and then the beige color is the Mohonk Mountain House lands. Access to our land is through 5 distinct trailheads across the preserve. They're represented by the little hiker icons on this map, if you can see them, little blue dots. Members of the preserve can access the land at any time. For those that aren't members, we do charge a day fee, and I'll touch more on this later. Depending on your recreational interests, will determine the best trailhead. A leisurely stroll along the Pin Oak LA happens in the New Paltz area at the Testimonial Gateway Tower. Rock climbing can be best accessed at our West Traps interests. Need to cool off on a hot summer day, head to the Coxing Trailhead and dip your toes in the Coxing Hill. Or if you want to get out for a good hike and then you want to head out to Spring Farm in Marbletown and hike to Table Rocks or up to Bonnecue Crag, followed by an incredible look at the Catskills at the $1 Million View. So lots of options. Next, thanks. So what can you do when you come to the preserve? When I first came here, I've been with this organization a little over a year now. I have to be honest, I did not appreciate the depth and breadth of the outdoor experiences that can be had. Hikers and runners have 30 miles of carriage roads and another 42 miles of hiking trails to explore. Annually, we host a number of races at the preserve. The largest and most popular is the Rock the Ridge race, a 50-mile ultramarathon that attracts runners far beyond Ulster County to come and experience the Shawangunk Mountains, many for the first time. This year's race is on September 25th, and registration's already closed with 600 participants signed up and ready to go. And as many of you know, we're home to the Gunks, with one of the most popular rock climbing destinations on the East Coast that attracts over 100,000 climbers and boulderers every year with over 800 climbing routes. Next, thanks. On top of that, just like the runners and the cyclists, which I'm proud to say I'm one of, the cyclists enjoyed 30 miles of carriage road riding with great and varied topography, amazing views, and something for all skill levels. We also allow some Class 1 electric bikes on the preserve, which provides opportunity for some that otherwise would not get out on the trails. And we do also allow equestrian use on the carriage roads. People that have horses and trailers can bring them to our Spring Farm trailhead and access the preserve from that location. As you can imagine, with the fields, the cliffs, the forests of the preserve, there's ample opportunity to experience nature through activities such as bird watching and wildflower identification. Throughout the year and in non-pandemic times, we have a number of programs for people to engage with and learn more about the unique ecosystem of the area. When winters are good, as we had this year, there are great opportunities for cross-country skiing with groomed trails on a variety of topography. I was told this past winter we had some of the best skiing on the ridge in decades and felt really fortunate to be here and be a part of it. Next, let's see. So how do we ensure we keep the ecosystem healthy and provide the broad range of opportunities for people to come and enjoy the land? We've got a number of core program areas that I want to share with you that allow us to do this. First and foremost, our conservation programs focus on helping us target key lands for conservation and leads efforts to ensure they're managed in a way that sustains and improves our ecosystem health. Among other things, really significant is our conservation science program. It's home to one of the best long-term weather data sets in the country, with daily recordings of key weather information that go back over a century. This year, it tells a sobering story of how the climate is changing. 2020 was the warmest year on record, going back 124 years, as well as the 7th driest. We're seeing the impacts of climate change on the land today and working to identify management approaches that will allow us to support the ecosystem adapting as the climate changes. Next. In addition, we have our education programs that engage school-age children and adults on a host of issues and topics. We've worked with over 40 areas of schools over the years and serve in a normal year 14,000 adults and students with programs to advance their understanding of nature and our connection to it. Focus on communities where students don't have regular access to the outdoors is important to us. The picture here in this slide is a student from Nora Cronin Presentation Academy in Newburgh, one of our closest education partners, who's out on the land for a field study. In addition, we have a well-known nature access program working to ensure people of all and differing abilities have the opportunity to experience nature on the land. With 8,000 acres and 72 miles of carriage roads and trails, we require a dedicated crew of both staff and volunteers to ensure our roads and trails are well maintained and safe. As well as, in addition to our trails, we also have other things to oversee, include the mowing of our 500 acres of fields that incorporates an approach that supports grassland birds and pollinators, among other things. This picture here shows some recent volunteers that joined us from our Terex company. We came out to help improve some of our trails and put in some steps to make it a more safe and enjoyable experience for visitors at the preserve. Obviously, a key part of what we do is ensuring the visitor experience is a welcoming and safe one. And we focus on ensuring that happens for visitors regardless of their backgrounds or experience. And at the same time, we're increasingly focused on, because last year was a record-setting year for any and all outdoor locations, we're focusing on how we can manage to not love the land to death as our visitorship continues to grow. Safety is obviously paramount for us as well, and we're fortunate to have a highly trained corps of rangers on staff that are out in the land constantly supporting a safe experience for all. Our rangers are accredited by the Mountain Rescue Association and Technical Rescue. They're expert at dealing with climbing accidents on the cliffs. And it's not only people they help out. In the lower right picture, here, you see our Chief Ranger and Director of Visitor Experience, Andrew Bajardi, very happy, along with a very happy dog who he and another ranger just rescued from a fall into a 15-foot crevasse that the dog had no way of getting out without some help from the ranger. So a happy day for Andrew and a great day for the dog. Something for me, since I've come to Mohonk Preserve over the last year, that's really underscored the passion and the dedication people have for the preserve are our volunteers. With over 400 people donating their time and expertise to help make the preserve the best it can be. You can see from this list the ways people can and do become involved. It's just amazing to me what generosity people have towards this place. They really care about it, and it shows in so many ways. So when you roll this all up, all that's going on, the visitation and the many ways that people can come and enjoy the preserve, you not only have people that are caring, enjoying the outdoors, but you also have meaningful economic impact where these visitors shop, dine, and stay in Ulster County. As you can see from this recent Ulster County Trails study report, They estimate that between the preserve and Minnewaska State Park, at least 800,000 visitors per year are coming and bringing an additional impact of $25 million to the local area. We're happy and proud to be a part of that. So one thing we're really focused on is how can we continue to grow our role as a community institution in the towns where we operate and support each local community's health and vibrancy. As I mentioned earlier, to get on preserve lands, visitors can either become members of the preserve and access the lands at any time or purchase a pass to get on the land for a day. We recognize not everyone may have the means to afford either option and have instituted a number of programs that make the land more accessible to everyone regardless of means. Through library lending programs, distributing passes to local nonprofits, and offering discounts to seniors, students, and military. We also are beginning to look at other ways we can support the needs in local communities. This past January, we hosted a food drive in New Paltz to help the family of New Paltz fill their food pantry. In one day, people were incredibly generous, providing nearly 7 pickup truckloads of food, of donated food to help those in need. And then finally, I just want to touch on two things. One, our Healthy Ulster program is coming up, and this is another way in which we are working to get people on the land at no cost. It's coming up in a few weeks. It's our 11th annual. Any resident of Ulster County can come between June 2nd and 6th, and with a proof of residency, pick up a 6-week pass to access the preserve at no cost. The other thing I wanted to mention that we do have coming up is our Rock the Ridge race. I should have mentioned it earlier. This is an annual ultra marathon 50-mile race that occurs on the Shawangunk Mountains in our property. And we are sold out. We have 600 registrants for the program, which will be happening, I think I said, September 25th, and look forward to a great turnout with people not only from the region, but from far away as well, coming to enjoy this really special place. So that's it. Thank you again, Ward, for this opportunity. And I really do look forward to seeing people out in the land sometime soon.
Great. Thank you so much, Kevin. Congratulations on your great new job. What a beautiful, beautiful place, Mohonk Preserve.
Thank you.
And so kind of a belated welcome to Ulster County also. Thanks for being part of our program today.
I appreciate it.
Great job. So for all of those out there who've been walking or biking or hiking on any of our amazing outdoor trails, I'm sure you already understand what a tremendous asset these are to our region. And to talk more about the trails that we have outdoors, we'd like to welcome the Director of Ulster County Tourism, Lisa Berger, this morning. Hello, Lisa.
Good morning, Ward. It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for having me today. And thank you so much for having the Walkway and Mohonk Preserve as part of it, because certainly they are major spokes in the hub that's our outdoor recreation. So it's great to follow them.
All right. Tell us about the trails. It's pretty exciting.
I'm all ready to go. So our incredible trails network is actually one of our biggest competitive advantages where it comes to visitation. It connects us to incredible small towns and to historic sites and to incredible vistas. It can lead us to places we've never been before. And it lets us see familiar things in a whole new way, especially once we pull these rails up and turn it into a trail. And so I'm here to talk a little bit about what's been new since you last got a report on all of this. So in 2019, Ulster County added 20 miles of new trails. And in 2020, many of them had record-breaking years. The Ashokan Rail Trail has had more than 200,000 visitors since it opened in October 2019. And of course, this is the Walkway Over the Hudson, which you saw, which, as Elizabeth pointed out for all of you, is part of the Empire State Trail, and it connects directly to the Hudson Valley Rail Trail, which this year closed a 7-mile gap between Highland and New Paltz and welcomed users of all kinds, and also connecting to the Walkway Valley Rail Trail in New Paltz is the magnificent River to Ridge Trail, which allows people to walk or bike across the New Paltz Flats and all the way into the Shawangunk foothills of Mohonk Preserve. The latest additions to our trail network include the 1.5-mile Kingston Point Trail and the newly opened Hutton Brickyards Trail. That is what is basically all new. But the most important thing about our connected rail trail system is at mostly less than a 2% grade, almost anyone of all abilities and capabilities can use these trails. So now let me just go through some vital signs and a 2020 snapshot of the trails. But before I move on, I really have to thank Kevin Smith, Carl Beard, and Steve Rice of the Ulster County Trails Advisory Committee. The next few slides are entirely theirs. It comes from their State of the Trails report for 2020. And if anybody wants a copy of it, which is beautifully written and has a ton of great information, please email me because I'm happy to share it with you. But here are the important stats. Ulster County has 75 miles of non-motorized shared use trails that are completed and open to the public out of a potential of 123. 20 miles of new trails were opened in 2019 on 4 different corridors that I just reviewed with you. 12.4 miles of new trail are in active planning stages and could be opened by the end of this year. 5 miles of the county-owned Ulster and Delaware corridor between Highmount and Big Indian in the town of Shandaken are going to be studied as part of a corridor revitalization study with the hope of opening that spur up to the public sometime soon. Let's see, 12 miles of the Walkway Valley Rail Trail from Rosendale to Kingston are in the process of being refurbished by Open Space Institute and the Walkway Valley Land Trust. And now, if we just closed 4 gaps, which is a total of 9.6 miles, there would be a continuous trail between the city of Kingston all the way to Ellenville. And of course, one of the most exciting completions is from the town of Shawangunk, the hamlet of Walkway. You can now ride 22 miles through Gardner, New Paltz, Rosendale, and into Kingston. So here's a quick look at the incredible wealth of trails we have in Ulster County. There's 190 miles of hiking trails in the Catskill Preserve, 135 miles of carriage roads and hiking trails on the Shawangunk Mountain between Mohonk Preserve and Minnewaska State Park. There's 14 miles of off-road mountain biking at Littman Park in the town of Wawarsing. And that's actually an underused facility. So if you like to mountain bike, you should get out there and do it. Just like the 26 miles of hiking at DEC's Bluestone Wild Forest is also underutilized. So we suggest that you get out there and use that too. And I already mentioned the 22 miles that connect the hamlet of Walkway to Kingston. But this picture is meant for you to visually see how our rail trail corridor connects currently through the county. And where you see red, there are gaps that need to be closed. Yellow means that we're working on closing those trails. And green means they're already fully connected. So you can see north to south, east to west, we have one of the most connected, elaborate rail trail systems in the entire Northeast. Next slide. And local communities really understand the benefit of this, and we want everyone to know that Ulster County Tourism understands the benefit of trails to the communities. And that's why this year, we're really focused on telling people to get out there, use these connected rail trails, and make sure you hop on and off into the towns along the way. I've mentioned Gardner, New Paltz, and Rosendale, but High Falls is looking to get into the act by developing some trails along what was the D&H Canal. And certainly a large player is the Ashokan Rail Trail. So now I'm going to take you for a little walk on how you can go from New Paltz all the way into Kingston on the Empire State Trail, you can actually use the entire Empire State Trail to get all the way down here to the gorgeous Rondout area where you can shop and eat and mosey around, or you might want to ride your bike along our incredible waterfront, or you may want to take a look at things that you've never seen. This is Hutton Brickyard as it's being redeveloped, and your entire day out exploring can lead you to new places that you have that are right here in your backyard that you've probably never experienced. But no matter where your view is, oh, I almost forgot to tell you, if you don't want to ride your own bike, by the way, you can still experience our rails. This is a pedal-assisted bike at Rail Explorers up in Phoenicia. So if you or your little ones don't want to walk or pedal themselves, they can jump on one of these. Thanks, Cal. So no matter where your view is from the walkway over the Hudson to the new gatehouse that Mohonk Preserve talked about earlier, our view is incredible from every trail in this county. And it is such a pleasure and honor to be able to promote this area to people, not just from New York State, but throughout the country and Canada as well. So thank you so much for your time. And I hope that you enjoyed this overview of our trail network.
Absolutely amazing. It really, really is, Lisa. And, you know, the great thing, I think a lot of this is meant for folks to come here and visit and experience it. And because we live here full time, we get to take advantage of it. So it's a great blessing to all of us. Thank you so much. Great job, Lisa, Kevin, Elizabeth. We truly are so blessed to have such amazing opportunities to get outdoors right here in Ulster County. The video of this morning's presentations will be archived on the Chamber website, so feel free to share it with others who might want to experience Ulster County's great outdoors, friends who live elsewhere. Our sponsor this morning has been our good friends at the Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union. Thank you so much for your support. I want to thank Radio Kingston, of course, Kale, Perla, Daniel, Erica, and of course, Jimmy Buff for your exceptional technical support. And now a word of gratitude to the Chamber's outstanding 2021 corporate sponsors. These are our 2021 corporate leaders. We thank them. We thank our corporate partners, seen here. Thanks so much to our corporate supporters for your support. And thanks as well to our good friends, our sustaining sponsors of the Chamber of Commerce. Those are our 2021 corporate sponsors. We thank you all very, very much for your continued support. We couldn't do it without you. A reminder, join us next month for our next virtual breakfast meeting featuring the state of SUNY Ulster with College President Dr. Alan Roberts. Be sure to join us virtually on Tuesday, June 29th. And that's our program for today. Thank you so very much for joining us. I hope everyone enjoys the upcoming Memorial Weekend. Please take a moment to remember those men and women who gave their lives to ensure our freedom. Stay safe, stay well. Thank you.